It all started on an ordinary Monday morning at JFK International Airport. The terminal was packed with tired travelers, buzzing announcements, and the faint smell of coffee drifting from a nearby cafe. Among the passengers was Malik Thompson, a calm, well-dressed black man in his late 30s. He was headed to London for an international business meeting, one that would shape not just his company's future, but his country's economic partnerships as well. Malik was a respected government advisor and CEO of a major technology firm working with renewable energy systems. His company had recently won bids for several infrastructure projects overseas. Yet that morning, as he stepped up to the gate to board his flight, none of that mattered. To the woman behind the counter, he was just another passenger, and unfortunately, one she had already decided to mistreat. The gate agent, Cynthia, had been in a sour mood since her shift began. Her irritation spilled into her tone, and her prejudice would soon turn a routine moment into a viral scandal. When Malik approached the counter to confirm his boarding pass, he handed over his passport politely and smiled. But Cynthia's expression changed. She squinted at the passport, then looked him up and down, as if trying to catch him in a lie. "Is this really your passport?" she asked flatly, her voice dripping with suspicion. Malik blinked, a bit taken aback. "Yes, of course. Is there a problem?" "There's something off about this," she muttered, flipping through the pages roughly. "You people always have some kind of issue with your documents." The words hit Malik like a slap. "You people," he repeated softly, still keeping his composure. Cynthia didn't back down. "Don't take that tone with me. I deal with fake passports all the time. I know what I'm doing." Before Malik could even respond, she did the unthinkable, she tore the corner of his passport. Then, in one shocking motion, she ripped the entire booklet in half. The surrounding passengers gasped. Phones came out. Cameras started recording. "Excuse me, what are you doing?" Malik's voice finally rose, a rare edge of anger breaking through. "This is fake. You're not boarding this flight," Cynthia snapped, tossing the torn pages onto the counter like trash. Security was called, and Malik was detained briefly while the situation was sorted out. But it didn't take long for airport police and supervisors to confirm that the passport was 100% legitimate. The damage, however, was already done. His meeting had to be rescheduled, and the humiliation he endured couldn't be undone. By the time Malik left the airport, several passengers had already uploaded videos of the incident online. Within hours, #PassportJustice and #FlyRight were trending globally. The footage was damning. The video showed Cynthia ripping up the passport, shouting at Malik, and smirking as if proud of her authority. Comments poured in from all over the world. "Greater than, unbelievable racism in 2025. This man deserves justice. Fire her immediately." By the end of the day, major news networks picked up the story. Reporters camped outside the airport. The airline, Sky World Air, tried to issue a generic statement about ongoing investigation, but it only made things worse. Meanwhile, Malik stayed quiet. He didn't rant online or give interviews. Instead, he made one phone call to his government contact. You see, Sky World Air wasn't just any airline. It was in the middle of negotiating a $200 million government transportation contract to operate eco-friendly routes across Africa and Europe. And guess who was one of the key advisors in charge of reviewing those contracts? Malik Thompson. The next morning, Sky World executives woke up to devastating news. The government had terminated all pending negotiations with Sky World Air, citing concerns over ethics, employee conduct, and public accountability. Within 24 hours, the company's stock value dropped 18%. Major media outlets confirmed the reason: racial misconduct at JFK involving a senior government advisor. Cynthia, the gate agent, was immediately suspended. Her name was trending for all the wrong reasons. Even her union couldn't defend her actions after the video surfaced from multiple angles. But the bigger storm was yet to come. Malik was invited to speak at a televised press conference about the incident, not for revenge, but to address a larger issue. Standing confidently before a sea of reporters, he said, "Greater than, this isn't about me. It's about the everyday traveler who gets humiliated, questioned, or denied respect simply because of the color of their skin. I don't want an apology. I want change." His calm, powerful statement resonated worldwide. Activists, business leaders, and politicians praised him for his dignity and leadership. Celebrities shared his video, calling him a true example of grace under pressure. Sky World Air scrambled to control the damage. Their CEO personally apologized and offered Malik free lifetime flights, but he declined. "Respect isn't something you buy with perks," he said in an interview. "It's something you show through your actions." Meanwhile, the government redirected the $200 million contract to a smaller, minority-owned airline that focused on equality and sustainable aviation. The move was praised as both just and strategic. Inside Skyworld's corporate office, panic set in. Investors pulled out, and staff morale plummeted. The CEO resigned within a week, and the company's brand image was shattered. Cynthia, now jobless and facing public backlash, tried to issue her own apology online. She claimed she had a stressful day, and didn't mean for it to look racist. But the internet wasn't having it. One comment summed it up perfectly. "Greater than, you don't accidentally rip up someone's passport. You made a choice." As the days went by, Malik's story inspired countless others to speak up about discrimination in travel. A wave of passengers shared their own experiences with racial profiling at airports. Malik later launched an initiative called Fly Fair, aimed at training airline staff in diversity, empathy, and cultural awareness. Several major airlines joined the program within months. In one interview, Malik reflected on that fateful day. "When she tore my passport," he said quietly, "I felt like she was tearing a piece of my identity. But what she didn't realize was that she also tore open a system that needed fixing." He wasn't bitter. Instead, he turned pain into purpose. His actions didn't just hold one person accountable, they forced an entire industry to confront its biases. A few months later, at a global aviation conference, Malik was honored with an award for outstanding contribution to ethical travel reform. As he walked on stage to accept it, the audience gave him a standing ovation. The man who was once humiliated at a gate had become the voice of dignity in travel. As for Skyworld Air, they never recovered. The company's reputation remained stained, and the government refused to reconsider their contract. Competitors quickly took over their routes, leaving Skyworld as a cautionary tale for every company that ignores respect and inclusion. The lesson was clear. Racism may seem small in the moment, a rude word, a cruel gesture, a torn passport, but its consequences can be enormous. And in this case, one man's dignity was worth more than $200 million. Malik's final words in his last interview said it best. "Greater than, you can rip a passport. You can tear paper. But you can't destroy a person's worth. That's stamped in something no one can take away." The story spread across social media again, this time not as outrage, but as inspiration. Schools, businesses, and even travel agencies shared his speech, reminding everyone that respect should never depend on appearance. And every time someone passed through an airport and saw a poster from Malik's Fly Fair campaign, they were reminded of one truth. Real power doesn't come from a position behind a counter, it comes from how you treat people in front of it.